The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the first ever episode of Hands On. Yeah, we're very excited to have this and bring this to you. It's going to be the football show that allows Coach Hans and myself to talk about all of the issues that might have arisen throughout the season or even before the season. And this is a chance for us to really get serious and talk about the things that perhaps other people are afraid to talk about. That's why it is perfectly named as Hands On. My name is Jing Jamlang. But really, I'm somewhat irrelevant to this program because I'm sitting next to a person who is an absolute icon in Philippine football. This guy has over 30 years of experience in the game, whether as a player, as a coach, now as a technical director for Green Archers. If you are affiliated with any football club, you play a little bit of football, then for sure, you know this man, right? Of course. This is the guy that everybody calls Coach Hans. Coach Hans Peter Smit is his full name, of course. How could you not be an icon looking like that, Coach? It's incredible.
Looking like what? A goon? Like well, the WWF would have helped me quite a bit. Jake the Snake and all that, so maybe that's how I'm known now.
Coach Hans, you're one of the people that perhaps I don't know too many people whose reputation really precedes them. Before when I got here to the country and I wanted to play a little bit of football, one of the people that was always talked about was Coach Hans, always with a little bit of fear as well. I went to school in CSA and we got our asses handed to us on a regular basis by De La Salle Zobel. And one of the reasons why that happened was because of this man. Coach Hans, he had them drilled like super athletes at the time compared to us. And we were always very afraid. Unfortunately, when I did get to play Zobel, which we did pretty well in, I scored a goal, set up got a penalty, no big deal. We drew that game 2-2 and it was a big result, but it wasn't as sweet because Coach Hans wasn't there. It seemed like, you can beat Zobel, but if Coach Hans is not there, it kind of doesn't really count, So tell me about this reputation, Coach Hans. You built it, like I said, 30 years already, but at the time, which was what, early 2000s, you were already such a big name, You strike fear in people who just arrived in the country. How's that even possible?
No, maybe it just happened during the time that when I started coaching, I was the youngest coach in the country. I was at 21. Professionally, meaning getting paid for it, I was 21 years old. And there was nobody that young that coached. Maybe nobody had that much enthusiasm and passion as I did during the time. I was just being me. Why should I tell my coaches through the years, you have your own identity. I don't do it for the sake of being known.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's not a persona.
No. That's the way I am. That's the way I am. That's why during team building exercises or whatever you call it, when the people ask you to facilitate, say your name and in one sentence or one word describe yourself. I just say 2 words actually. High strung. That's the only thing I could think of. I'm not stressed. People say I'm always stressed out. I'm always screaming and all that. That's the way I am. I was born this way.
Right.
And I'm not trying to imitate anyone. I'm not trying to imitate any coach or any player. I'm just trying to be me. It just so happens maybe I'm just noisier than all the other coaches. But I would like to say, because of what I do now, there are a lot of coaches now that are being heard. Because when I started coaching, I was wondering how come they're all so quiet. And they were so nice and I don't believe that when you coach. When you coach, you're teaching. Okay? To me, coaching is not just tactics and all this. You're teaching, in fact. It's just another word. Maybe coach is another term for teacher in sports. That's the way I see it.
Right.
Because I'm teaching.
Yeah.
I'm teaching. And what I teach, number one, is attitude up. How to be an athlete. Because, like, one big compliment I had when I just started coaching the senior level in the UAAP, Mr. Cordero is the head of the UST athletic department. He said when he saw me 2 hours before the game, So that's why he told his coaches, look at LaSalle. LaSalle's there always 2 hours because I didn't understand why teams would come in 30 minutes before a game.
Right.
I mean, I used to play, so I would know that you need to warm up properly, you need to be there in the venue, relaxed, not stressed out. Then from there, all the other teams started coming in 2 hours ahead of time. That was because I started it. I said, as long as I'm positive, I give positive lessons to the others, even to my opponents, I don't mind. It's football. I don't really care if it's who I play against or anything, but anything I can give out. And at my stage now, I'm glad that I have had a lot of players or coaches, former players, coaches who were under my wing, who ended up coaching in the national sides.
Right.
Some of the coaches, their first international or even national experiences was with me when I took them in as my assistant coaches. So, but don't get me wrong, I'm not that old. Okay, everybody they joke around. Of course, my batchmates will always say that it's my age. But like I said, I was the youngest coach.
Yeah.
So people are wondering how come I know so many people. I said I've been here for 32 years. I mean, coaching-wise, 32 years. It's because I started very young.
Yeah.
So of course, when you start young, then you get all this through the years. You get all these experiences. You meet so many people, and people know me. Will tell you that I'm very different when I'm off the pitch.
Yeah.
On the pitch, I'm a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, was saying? Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll.
Dr. Hyde.
Yeah.
Mrs. Jekyll.
Yeah, that one. I'm two personalities.
Right. No, that's true. I'm glad that you brought that up. Kasi parang, I've been able to experience both sides of you, right? As I gotten older, being part of the UFL, I've gotten a chance to get to know you at a different level. Initially, it was all about the fear, right? So I went to LaSalle as well, and people would tell me like, hey man, would you like to try out for the team, And I said, I don't have a left foot, and I don't get up early in the morning, right? So that was two things that I would tell people. But the third thing that I don't tell people is the fact that I'm not in the mood to get screamed at early in the morning, to get bitched at by the coach, and there's such a reputation that you had. But then I got to know your players, people from Zabel, people who played under you in the university, and they always have that affinity towards you. They appreciate the things that you've taught them, and they all hold you in such high regard, right? And I never could put the two together. I thought you were just a maniac on the side of the pitch. And then I see you and then I meet you, and then I understand, that there's another side to the persona that a lot of people play up. Now, parati nagmumura, parating galit.
The thing, the young coaches that I'm proud to say that I've advised and took in under my wings quite a number of coaches who are coaching the senior level, in the youth, in the women's. I always tell them that you are your own person. Don't try to copy anybody else. Plus, when you treat your players, you treat them like your own family. That's the way I am because, it's difficult for me to coach in the UFL.
Right.
Because I'm going to give them hell. I don't care if you're getting paid this much and all that shit. I don't really fucking care. Because you need to follow. Without a coach, there is no player. All right? Okay, people start saying, you can say anything you want. Like Pele was on his own and all that shit. Of course, everybody had their own natural talents, right? But it's a coach that honed it up, that nurtured you and how to use your talent. Well, I'd like to say that there are a lot of players through the years, through the decades, that came from different sports, wanted to play football, and then ended up playing in the national teams, whatever side they are in. But the best thing there of coaching is, it's like when you're a teacher, like you're a mentor, they come out very successful. I've one very nice story which I won't forget because, Candice De Rosario, no? Candice Gray De Rosario. She used to play for me. She was in Sobel, she was in LaSalle. She graduated in LaSalle Taft. She took her master's in the States, had a good paying job in the States for a consulate. Came back in, I didn't even know. The dad I saw one time, I saw him in a restaurant somewhere, and he tells me, Coach, what do you do to your players? So I said, shit, what did I do again? What did I do? They said, no, Candice, Did everything. She graduated here, this and that. Came from the States, earning well. Came back to the Philippines and ended up putting up a football school. I just asked him one question. Is she earning well? Oh, yeah. Oh, then what's your problem? Just when I told her that, what's your problem? And that's just one of my players, right? The Futcaleros. Nobody knows. Peter Amores is from LaSalle.
Oh, man. Really? I didn't know that.
San Agustin, LaSalle, Taft.
Wow.
Futcaleros, Peter Amores started that. And there's a number of my former players who are doing a lot for football. And I'd like to blame myself. I put that love for the sport.
Right.
Because I always preached to them even way back that, if you guys don't do this, who else will? I said, you're the new generation of football coaches, trainers, teachers. You put the love and the enthusiasm to the kids that you're handling. But the thing there is, when like Candice comes to me and once in a while we see each other, I said, Coach, now I realize what you were telling us before. Because now I'm going through, because I always tell him that. You will mark this day, what I'm telling you now, because once you get older, once you have your own family or you're coaching or you have your own kids and all this, you'll see what I'm talking about. And now that they're in that stage, they realize that it's true. So I don't really care what people say about me, because it always happens that people say, Coach Hans like this, Coach Hans. Sorry, you. I said, you have fall in line, you want to kill me, fall in line. They only see me as on the field. They don't know who I really am.
Right.
That's why the people that you talk to, like my former players, when you watch me, yes, I'll scream at you, I'll do everything at you. I'll do anything to you. But people don't know, my house is open 24/7. My phones are open, the lights, I never close it and it's never off. You got a problem, you can always come, you got problems, family problems, whatever problems, I'm there. I would like to believe that a lot of the other coaches, about 90% of the Filipino coaches from football, and for the other sports for that matter, do that same thing. Walking the extra mile.
Right.
And maybe the reason why you hear these things from my players is, like I said, I treat them like my own kids. One way of getting respect is giving respect.
Right.
A lot of people say, here we go again, those viewers and those listeners, if you think you don't know what I'm talking about, stay with me for 2 weeks and you'll see. People think that I don't give the respect. The respect is there. I lay down the cards before I start a program. I lay down the cards. This is how I am. If you don't know who I am, better ask. If you don't want to be screamed at, better ask the seniors and all this. Because I'm not going to fucking take a memo notice and give it to each and a single new player of mine. Oh, this is how I am.
Yeah.
You want to play? You with me? Tough luck. You have to stick with me. You can't make it, then go. The players that don't continue with me, it's not because of their, they're frightened of me or they're afraid of me. It's more of they can't handle
Your
the training. No, not my personality.
All right.
They know right away, because if you're new, the first thing that you hear from me is a joke. The first thing you'll come out, I can see your faces, the rookies, especially from the provinces. They're afraid.
Yeah.
So I hear it. I say something that they'll laugh. I put them on into a relaxed mode. Mm-hmm. So, you cannot teach anyone, like, the same as us. You can go to work and then you have this superior, your boss, who's a freaking asshole or a bitch.
Yeah.
You'll tighten up.
Yeah.
How can you work that way, Maybe on the first day you think, putang ina, am I in the right job? I think I better look for another job, diba? Yeah. So you have to put your people at ease. In my case, my players, put them at ease. Of course, people say, I verbally abuse, I physically abuse. Physically abuse? If I'm pissed off, I don't even touch you, I don't even talk to you.
Right.
If what you see is, these are just, what they call tough love.
I was going to say, right? Tough love. Who said this? I think it was Sir Alex Ferguson who said that to be a great manager, you got to be a father, a doctor, and a teacher. Right?
And everything else.
Yeah. So I guess your players would know all about that. Has that always been the motivation? I mean, like you said, like you get a lot of fulfillment from like seeing your players succeed, become the next generation of coaches, next generation of great players. Is that always been the motivation for you?
No.
Because you started so young. I mean,
it never entered my mind. No, it never entered my mind. Everything that came, are coming my way, after all these years, you know. I mean, this came about of my natural self, or what I've been doing, because I love to talk. I love people. I like to, believe it or not, my first choice for college entrance exam, my first choice was HRM.
Oh.
Okay?
Would have loved to see you in a hotel.
Oh, fuck, in the suit, man. I don't think I'll last because I always want long hair and all this. And my second choice was mass comm. Still doing with people, dealing with people. I'm a people person, which is funny. Again, I don't know why every time I say this, because I've had quite a number of, how would you say, people who love to haters, bashers.
Yeah, all right.
But these people, if you know, these are jealous because they can do what I do, or somebody, maybe their kids were under my wing, but never were superstars, but they wanted them to become superstars. Like I said, I don't fucking care who you are. You know, if my children, my sons play for me, I was to my players, isipin niyo yan, mas kawawa itong mga anak ko. They live with me, but actually no. I don't bring work home, never. I never bring. The farthest I go with work is in the car on the way home. That's it. Right. I don't talk about work at home. Then when the kids talk to me, you know, that's the way I am. I mean, I grew up, let's just say in the 70s, where things were a lot more free. You know what I mean? And those people who grew up in the 70s, don't you fucking deny. You were with me at the same time. You know, everybody had so much to do. And I started very young. Actually, I started everything very young. And I do mean everything. Everything very young. I started everything very young. So, at this stage, I'm so fucking relaxed. And then people tell me, like my brothers, my older brothers, kasi ang lakas ang dating mo, Hans, eh. When you enter a room, like that. I say, this is my fault. I don't fucking come in a room and, hey, this is me. Yeah. You know, I just enter, period. Yeah. You know, that's just me. Just because I'm tall, I'm long hair, I have all these blings and all. Come on, let's grow up, you know. I mean, well, if I enter, I say hi here, I say hello here, I say hello here. It is my fault, I know a lot of people. And who are smart people, intelligent people, think about this. Why do you hate me so much when you know I know so many people who like me or who love me? I mean, 1 plus 1, come on, simple. If I was an asshole, sometimes I am, if I wanted to be. If I want to be, I didn't want to be an asshole, I do it purposely.
You do it on purpose?
On purpose.
Why?
To prove a point, maybe, to shut up somebody, maybe, or something, you know? But the way I am that's me, that's Hans Smit, that's the way I am. My kids, of course, were wondering before, sino ba talaga to si Daddy? So they asked my coaches, my assistant coaches, ano si Daddy before, cha-cha-cha-cha. They're also a little afraid of me, which is good. Because I want to instill discipline to them, to my kids. Like I said, I don't want my kids growing up the way I did. Believe it or not, I haven't had a silver spoon. Okay? I'm the only one in the family who went against my dad's wishes and did my own thing. And before he passed away, I was told that he was most proud of me because I was the only one who had the balls to go against him. And we were all afraid of him.
Right.
Okay, so, but that's me. So I told my mom before, my brothers, you gave me a name, Hans. You gave my brothers this name, you gave my sister this name. You are Jing. I'm Hans. Yeah. Ange, Pico. You have all your identities. So why should I be like my brothers?
Right.
I mean, I never insulted or gave a bad name to the Smit name. You know? Funny thing is, one time I was still single. We went to Bangkal. There's this lavandera, Aling Diding, I still remember.
Wow.
I'm talking about more than 35 years ago, right?
All right. Aling Diding.
Squatters area, pare. Went in. Okay? And then, when we went in, I went in with my girlfriend and her barkada, who were still in in their school uniform, right? I was in UP that time. And my wife was on St. Paul's. When we entered, I was holding hands with the barkada. I said, I'm going to prove a point lang if she's true or not. Because if you walk with me with your girlfriend, obviously they know, the lady will know where, you know. Yeah. So I went holding hands with another. She got 95% past, present, future correct.
What do you mean? What did she say?
Playing cards, not tarot cards.
Oh.
Freaking playing cards lang. She said things like, okay, never mind about the family, but she got it right. And then, but the thing is, what I remembered was, dadaigin ko daw yung tatay ko. Okay, by the time I reached age 30, that time I think I was only 22, 23 years old. Then I asked, dadaigin ko saan? Sa pera o sa reputasyon? Now I know. Hindi sa pera. Anak ng puta. I'm still working for it. You know, ang dami kong utang pa rin. Sigurado hindi sa pera. Pero it happened, you know. Then when I ended up coaching, this was actually all by accident.
I see.
It's all by accident. I quit school. So everybody knows, I dropped out. I am not a dropout by the school. I dropped out, my choice.
Not kicked out.
Not kicked out.
Dropped out.
I dropped out, my choice. I was bored. After my playing years in the UAP, I said, fuck this. I'm not going back to school, and the professors making things easier and making it hard for the students.
Right.
And we were sports majors, okay? And then one time I just woke up early, I had nothing to do. Usually I'm puyat, you know, drinking here and there, go home at 6 a.m., you know.
Well done.
Yeah, well, live your life. I went to Green Hills, because that's my alma mater. Because I knew every Saturday there'll be games, right? I went there, watched the game. Then my former coach said, there's an opening in La Salle Sobel. I said, La Salle Sobel? The only La Salle I knew was La Salle Bacolod, La Salle Green Hills, and La Salle Iligan. That's the only ones I knew. Lipa. Those are the 4 La Salles I knew.
So bago pa yung Zobel nun?
Yeah. La Salle Sobel, I think, started late 70s. Okay. I mean, what's that? Okay. I let it pass. Then one time I was in UP, the dean, I asked the dean, I was there already, I said, Dean, Doc Mekki. I said, can you help me make a recommendation letter? I said, for what? He asked me, I'll apply for a job in La Salle Sobel. Ganun. I said, you know yourself, write your own letter. I'll just sign it. So I did. I went back. He corrected so many things. He said, no, Hans, you gotta be more aggressive, you know, you have to be like this. I was never a student. But he put there, Hans was a student of mine, is very astute and all this. He fucking lied for me.
Is this guy still around?
Yeah, he's now in Foundation U University in Dumaguete. He was the head of the DepEd or DEX or whatever before.
Okay.
He was a government official also. 2 months, the letter was just there in my night table.
Didn't submit it?
No, 2 months. Then I just woke up one morning, before 9 a.m., I saw the car. Nobody used it because we only had one car. I said, siguro, somebody just told me, you know, siguro, the Lord up there fucking hit me with the bat. Hey, it's about time. So I said, Mom, can I use the car? Can I borrow? Why again? Go look for a job. I'm gonna apply for it. Okay, use the driver. So from New Manila all the way to Alabang, I said, shit, where am I going? Batangas? Ang layo eh. I never knew there was Alabang.
Yeah,
Sukat was 2 lanes at that time.
Wow.
2 lanes lang, back and forth. That's it, north, south. I went there. I applied for a coaching job. After 40 minutes, I became the head of the PE department. I became the director of the sports department because it's still a new school, right?
Right.
Most of the coaches were all volunteer parents. So I started the whole program there. I said, what am I getting myself into? What
do you think it was, though, that got them interested in you? Was it the recommendation? Or was it like how you brought yourself across?
I don't know. Maybe because I was comfortable, maybe. You know, I wasn't nervous. I was talking like we're talking now, we're just like friends. Yeah? I talked to the president of the of the school, Mr. Kadlung, God bless his soul. But you know, I said, after that, grabe, I still had some unit in UP that time. Which I wanted to finish, but actually I didn't anymore. Because I had to make the whole program for the whole school. And I was the youngest athletic director also in the Philippines.
You were how old at that time?
21.
21? Holy wow! You just got out. All right, that's right.
I just finished my playing years in the UAP.
So at that point, was there anywhere else that you could have played at that time, or is that the reason why you were looking for?
No, I was tired. I was bored.
Was UAAP the highest level?
Yes,
though?
college.
Ah, okay. Right.
NCAA. Well, I don't know. I don't remember. Maybe UAP NCAA same. Not like now.
All right.
No, not like now. But that's all I remember. I just played because I love to play because I was throwing my life away after high school. 8 months I bummed around. So I ended up playing for UP because the UP needed players. Since my older brother was playing for UTEX, the club team that was made of Berto Nasan, Nonong Araneta, all these guys now in Philippine football.
Yeah.
I was a rookie. They were the seniors that time. And then after my playing years, I got bored. Like I said, then I applied. Applied to be a coach. I ended up being a teacher. I don't even have the units for teaching. I had education units. Then I taught for 11 years, PE, from grade 3 to college. When La Saltaf got me, I also taught in college, PE, all sports, not just football.
So that's why, like everybody, they went past you.
Yeah,
all of the generations. I see.
Yes.
All right.
So, and then I told Mr. Gadlon that time, I said, Sir, kung wala ako bibigay sa yung championship in 5 years, pwede mo utang terminate. My 3rd year. I got my first championship from that time on until maybe now. I'm always in the top 4 if I'm not in the top 2 or not champions. But I know for a fact I have the longest championship string in the Rifa, where I used to play in the midgets. I was an elementary player.
That's wild. We both played in that division.
Yeah. And I still hold the record there. So I also hold the record for the most championships straight in the UAP for the women and in the university games.
This is the reason why we're not getting any trophies in CSA. He's taking them all. So annoying. So wait, we got to put a pin in this, right? I'm going to ask you about obviously like the club football situation at the time.
Yeah.
But before that, you said 21 years of age. This was what 70s?
Early 80s.
Early 80s. And you were
81.
Yeah, you were already a tall guy back then, right?
Yeah.
Pretty much the same.
Yeah.
But you were a lot sexier, I'd say. Like, can we see that? Like,
Oh shit! Here we go.
oh, look at you! Sexy beast.
Love those shorts.
Look at those shorts, right? So I saw this on Twitter. There's a parody.
I thought panty shirts were only for volleyball.
So there's a parody account of Coach Hans on Twitter. It's what is it? Hans Peter Smit XX or something like that. That's not Coach Hans, but that's the photo that's being used for it. Tell us, what were you wearing here? When was this?
This was in Rizal. That was a national championship. I think that. Am I wearing a Revicon?
Yeah.
Okay, no. That's a club system.
You were playing club football then as well.
Yeah, but youth. But my team was a youth team, but we were playing against San Miguel, Air Force, Army. Yeah.
So I'm glad that you're telling me that you were playing. You weren't just modeling this outfit.
No, I was coaching already.
Oh, you were coaching already.
I was coaching already there. I was already coaching that time.
Coaching in short shorts. We should bring that back.
Hey, hindi pa uso yung long shorts eh.
Pero wala pa yung bling, ha? Wala pa yung bling.
Wala pa akong pera nun eh. Nung umpisa pa lang yan, pulubi pa ako dun eh.
Kaya ako nag-long sleeves today. Baka hindi ako mapansin eh. Kasi naka-bling-bling si Coach Hans.
Pag ako nag-long sleeves, utang inang yan, magana naman yung mga tao na naman katulad sa when they see me in Rizal. Even Bob Guerrero, dami niya, oh my God, people ask Coach Hans what he's doing. He's wearing long pants and a suit, necktie and everything. Oy, tao rin ako. Minsan, I like to dress up.
We gotta bring that look back. I'm just saying, I think
Screw that. With panty shorts? Putang ina, di na, uy.
All right. Let's talk about club football back then. Like you said, there was a club system going on. Now, there's the United Football League and, 20 clubs participating in the first division, second division. We're competing regionally now, competing in the Singapore Cup. We're playing a Minpora Cup and President's Cup. It's a great leap that we've managed to make in the last 3 or 4 years.
Actually, in the 70s and all that, there's really no club system. The real club I can remember is just San Miguel. They stayed on. I'm sorry to say, but Norman Black, who's a friend of mine, got the money from football and places on the basketball team. But San Miguel, that time, was the only club, the only team that had a budget, big budget. So they got all the strongest players. They
So
got all the strongest players.
So they destroyed all the competition. On a
Yeah,
regular
of course, but
basis.
they will end up playing against Air Force, Army, those guys who come from
Right.
Barotac, from the provinces, Cebu, Iloilo, Santa Barbara, Dumaguete, Legat, Bacolod. But the real club there was San Miguel. And then, like my teams, I'm just one of the few coaches who went out of his way to get a sponsor for one tournament.
I see.
Ganun lang yun. Of course, Revicon was a client of one of the dads of one of my players. He was the president owner of Aspac and Gray and advertising. So I asked him for help, and the budget was just there. The players didn't get anything. If we went out for when I have a, let's say, national tournament, which I'm most of the time appointed to be the coach of the NCR, I get players. Of course, I get players from Lasal, Ateneo, and like that. And who do you go to? Your resources are your players. So I asked, okay, makatulong. Tatay niya, oy, presidente pala, ha? O, sabi mo sa tatay mo, I need this much. Para makapunta tayo dito sa probinsya, ganun. And they help, that's it. That's the only way it goes. The sponsorship, it's just that, sponsorship. Not really a club.
Right.
If you see me, you know Lasal. If you see Chris Monfort, you know it's Ateneo.
Right.
Parang ganun lang. So sometimes we combine our resources, Chris and I. We're the only ones I can be proud to say that about the Lasal Ateneo feud. Only Chris and I did that thing, football. Oh yeah, we'll kill each other in the field. But in the evening, you see them in the bar, Lasal Ateneo drinking together. But we started that, football. That was in the early 80s, mid 80s.
Wow.
That's where the respect is now. Because before, there was no respect between Lasal and Ateneo.
Right.
Even before my time, there was really no respect. But the respect started here with football, between Lasal and Ateneo. Until now, nagbabanatan yan, trash talking, all that shit. But you'll see later on. They're all drinking the same bar, making cuento, talking about the same girls, and all that. Yeah. I mean, but that's competition. That's healthy.
Right.
Hindi yung putang ina magiging personal ka afterwards. Oh, I saw during my elementary days yung mga gulpihan talaga, rumble.
Elementary? Wow.
No, I would see it. I'll be watching games.
Right.
I can see that. Pero, now it's different. And then the club system, there's really no club system.
Right.
There's no real club
Wow,
system.
really? So, what's it like for you? Because, for me, when I got here in the country, initially living, I was, I was born here, moved to Indonesia, stayed there for 8 years, then I came back to the Philippines. That was 2000, 1999, 2000. At the time, football was dead, right?
Yeah.
There was nothing. There's nothing going on.
Yeah.
You were getting killed on a regular basis.
Yeah.
And then 2010 happened with the Azcals, and then we got to the semi-final run, and then it exploded, right?
Yeah.
And then, being as I was part of the UFL in the first year that it was going on, yung nilalangaw pa kami.
Yeah.
Nobody came out, and we met each other there a couple of times, and there's nobody come out to watch the games. Now we have packed stadiums, people going crazy about clubs that didn't even exist 3 years ago. For me, it's incredible. I'm overwhelmed by the success of the sport in the last 3 years. But you've been here for 30 years, like you said, right?
32.
So you've 32 years. So you've seen from the absolute, my time when I would consider the dark ages. Even before that, you were already there. So what's it like for you to see just immense growth?
Like this, the first game of the Azcals locally was in Panaad. At that stage, those 2 days when I flew from here to Bacolod, and when I was in Bacolod until coming back to Manila, I could have run for senator, congressman, governor, vice governor, mayor, vice mayor. I would have won hands down. I saw a lot of former players from all over, from Ateneo, Lasal, whatever school. It's all school-based. School-based lang talaga. And they would say, Coach, this is what you were preaching to us 30 years ago. This is a dream of mine that, hopefully that Philippine football will pick up just like the other countries.
Right.
It'll be a craze, people get passionate about it. We will get real football stadiums, a lot more, basta what's happening now.
Yeah.
Because before, you'd be lucky even if your dad or your mom be watching your game.
Oh yeah, me by myself in the living room, shouting, losing my mind because Chiefy scored 2 goals against Timor-Leste. Just me though, just me. I'm running around my living room, I'm going crazy. Nobody cares. So now it's completely different.
That's why our first guest, our official first guest. And if you're watching, Dan, you cannot say no because you said it already to me, yes. You told me, yes, you're going to be my first guest. And Michael Weiss, you're going to be my third guest, okay?
You're skipping him already. Who's the second?
Moncho.
All right. But yeah, definitely. Dan Palami is a person that, we need to talk to. I mean,
No. This is why I said when this all came about, I said our first guest should be really Dan.
Yeah.
Because I call him the Renaissance man.
Yeah.
He started it all. Out of his own personal pocket. Who else can fucking say that?
It's crazy to think about what he did, there's no reason to invest any money in Philippine football at the time, right? 7-0s, 9-1s, and crazy results. We haven't won a game in forever.
Yeah.
And then you're going to invest money from your own pocket, not even from a company, and,
He started a domino effect.
Yeah.
Dan started domino effect. Of course, we should also give credit to the Philippine Football Federation because you guys cannot do anything about anything international if without the blessings of the PFF. Okay? And with Dan, who had the conviction and he believed that he could have done something for football, and which he's doing now.
Yeah.
Okay? I really don't care about what people say about what he does with his global team.
Yeah.
You can't blame the man for the other Phil foreigners to be playing for global.
Yeah. No, you can't.
Because he's the one who brought them in also anyway.
Exactly.
Okay? But he's not that type of person. Because I know Dan personally. He's not that type of person. He's my opposite,
Yeah.
You'll never fucking hear him scream.
That's the perfect thing, the perfect way to describe it, I'd say.
Exact opposite. He's a businessman.
Yeah.
A very good businessman at that. And to come out from his daily routine of doing his business, taking care of his company and all that, and doing this, takes a lot. It takes a lot. Actually, there are quite a number of few people that have given their businesses a backseat and put an Ernie Nieras is one of them. He has his own company.
Yeah.
But he's fucking crazy about football already now, and he does everything football now. I don't know how he makes money. Are you still making money, Ernie? Anyway, there are quite a number of people that we need to publicly acknowledge and say thanks to.
Absolutely.
And I want to do this with Dan. I don't think, regardless of who was the president of the PFF at that time. Okay, I mean, the past two, and you know them already. I don't fucking care to mention their names, but Dan did his thing, and here, this is the fruits of his labor.
Yeah.
What's happening now? The UFL was there already way back, even before the ASCAL came in, right?
Yeah.
There was a lot of competition, good competition at that. But what happened with these Phil foreigners, I really don't actually know. Of course, it was first a money-making thing. But by all means, if you need to do something for the country, especially for the country, like in this case, football program of the Philippines, you need to make money also.
No doubt.
But there are still some rough edges in the UFL that need to be ironed out. I mean, that's a shout out to Richie, Cesar, and the FA. There are a lot of things that have to be ironed out. Like I've said before, you need to protect the league, you need to protect the players, and you need to protect the teams. And that's the only way. And respect for everyone there. And, you'll get there. And maybe do something more for officiating. There's been a problem everywhere else anyway. Oh, my friends on the referees committee, you know that, right? Peace, guys. But the thing there is, you need to really bring on a program wherein it doesn't die down.
Yeah.
Sayang lang eh.
Yeah.
Andito na eh. So, dapat, you need to be careful and develop it more, and come out like the J League, like the EPL and all that, where it's so fucking concrete na hindi na pwede sirain.
Yeah.
And that's the only way we can help. With regards to foreigners and the other racists, like the other one there that never showed my segment when I was interviewed about it. What are we afraid of? The whole fucking country heard him talk being a racist, and I just pointed it out stronger than everybody else.
Who are you talking about? Arnold Clavio?
Oh, you know him, man.
Oh yeah. I've heard about that. I was on the radio at the time, and I was pretty upset about that as well. I never understood why you would segregate Phil foreigners and Filipinos.
Yeah, that's why. I mean,
it just doesn't make sense.
you know, the foreigners here,
Yeah.
and even the field foreigners, is part of the development of the sport right now. Without these guys, I think our football will still be the same.
Yeah.
Okay? I see the difference. I see it from the players. Players that I've known years ago, iba na yung laro. Iba na yung mentality, iba na yung mindset. Where did this come from? From the field force and the foreigners.
Right.
But of course, we need to curtail a bit with the foreigners. Kasi,
Absolutely.
like I told the UFL before the technical committee, I said, what are we here for? To make money or to help Philippine football?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm bold to say that. Like I said, like Jing said earlier, this show, no holds barred.
Yeah.
No politically correct answers. You hear that, Dan? No political correct answers. You've got to fucking say everything. When we ask you questions, you better answer, Dan. Anyway, the thing that is, we need to curtail it, which is happening.
Yeah.
I've said this about 2-3 years ago
Yeah,
to
the
them.
foreigner cap's happening now.
We need to have
right?
that. We need to
so
have that.
only what? If for those who aren't aware, it's just going to be a foreigner cap rule where only 5 players in a game at any given point in time. So in effect, majority of the players will be
Filipino.
domestic or local players or fill foreigners, like we said.
Mostly for the Filipinos,
Yeah.
that's the only way you're going to help develop. And it's not like we're kicking out all the foreigners. No. We need the foreigners.
Yeah.
Definitely. Rufo in one season has showed a lot of other Filipino players, strikers, what to do, how to do,
yeah.
when to do. Yung angas ni Jason De Jong. Okay? Kababayan
Of course,
ko
but
din.
Jason's Filipino though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he played in Holland.
True.
And yung angas ni Jason, iba sa may ibang foreigners natin. Then the other real foreign players, so you can see naman the difference of their game.
Yeah.
Okay? Even if we get a third division player who plays in Europe, that's even at level or at par with the first division.
Right.
What I am feeling sad for are the African players now that we have. There are a lot. I understand their situation back in their own countries, no? But, matirang matibay na lang.
True.
I mean, the others who are here right now, trying out for the different clubs, whether in the first division, second division, or whatever, you need to give your A game all the time. And it's not only about your game, it's all about your attitude. There's some foreigners who think they're superstars here. Guys, I'm telling you, all you foreigners that are playing here, even field force, don't think that the Filipino kids or the players here are way below you. So don't take that ass up attitude with us here, because you'll never make it here. Hindi tanga ang Pinoy. So you need to just be an athlete, right? Just be a player and help out the Filipinos. Don't think, ang taas ng ihin nyo yung mga iba eh. I can name a few foreigners, but never mind. We don't need to do that because we will invite definitely some foreign players here. We will invite the field force, we'll invite Filipinos. Chiefy, wag ka na. Ang dami mo nga, big time ka na. Hindi na kita maabot eh. Ano, Chief, wag na. Yung mga ibang field foreigners na mga local players, tapos yung mga foreigners, let's see what they feel. Not just in the UFL, but the other foreigners that are playing the UAAP and CA.
No, it's true. I think you're right. There was that mentality before that, because you come from a different country, that you are superior to some of the Filipino players. I think maybe technically you are, but there's no reason for you to act that way on the pitch.
No freaking way that you can.
And stuff like that. But I think that it has been changing. Like this season, you can tell that there's, that more of a helping hand as opposed to berating.
And the respect.
Yeah,
you can see.
Absolutely.
In the first years, ang dami dyan.
You could even fault some of the coaches as well. I mean, some of the coaches instill that culture.
Oh, yeah. And there are still some now. And maybe managers. I'm sorry to say, but some coaches cannot coach. Some managers cannot manage. You think you know, but honestly, you don't.
We want names.
In due time.
First episode, we're gonna, keep it slow.
Yeah, keep it low a little bit,
Into it. All right.
Or else it'll be the first and last show that we'll have.
We're not gonna have any guests.
No, I don't. Not really names. The names is not important. It's just what I see.
Right.
What I see, kasi football is a culture in itself. But we're in the Philippines, which has its own culture also.
Correct.
So you guys need to fucking respect the Filipino way also. I don't care if you're white, black, whatever, Spanish, Australian, American, Brit. I don't care. You know, but don't fucking treat the local boys like they're nothing to you. Because without the Philippines, where would you be, Konyo? And why are you coaching here in the Philippines in the first place?
Getting amped up there.
Yeah.
Spoken by a true Indonesian over here.
Indonesian is more Filipino than a lot. At least in this room, I'm more Filipino, for sure.
That's funny. Yeah, we have that strange connection from Indonesia, which is a country that is completely nuts about football.
Oh, yeah.
Right? We were actually, we had an opportunity to play against them. What was that? Just like a couple months ago.
Yeah.
Friendly.
Yeah.
Right. Friendly. People are going crazy over there.
Jam-packed
How many
stadium,
people
man.
were there? 50,000 people in that stadium, possibly even more.
More.
Just losing their minds, right? Do you think down the road that's gonna happen to us?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a while. You know why? The way I see it personally is I think we still need to educate the Filipino people. The ordinary Tom, Dick, and Harry. You know, there are a lot of people who don't know anything about football.
Right.
You know what's funny is, you'll hear them say, ang hirap na yung laro niyan. Bago makascore, ang tagal. Tapos, isang oras kalahati. Ano ba yan? Ganun.
Siyempre, basketball mentality.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what helped a lot? What helped a lot? I hate to admit it, but I got to admit it, and people have to admit it. If we don't get these pogi boys, wala rin eh.
Kaya nakakatulong ka, coach eh.
Wala. Hindi ako. Pogi man. Wag na akong tawang boy. Hindi, like Phil and James.
Yeah.
When I see them play, I don't freaking see them ang mga pogi boys. But I'm not saying you're ugly, Phil, James. I'm not saying you're ugly.
No, those guys can play.
Because if you're ugly, Phil, you wouldn't have what's her name with you? Angel. Anyway. Whatever, kami showbiz, pare. Sunday, football show to. Anyway. But it helped.
Yeah, no doubt.
Having these good-looking players. You know, I mean, then again, let's not put the other writers to say, because there were also write-ups before about hindi nangyayari sa football ngayon kung hindi nga mga pogi. You guys who wrote that, mga bobo kayo. How did you fucking become writers?
Awesome.
Hindi, kasi you're looking at it the other way. Showbiz eh. It helped. You need to do everything to get somewhere.
Yeah.
To be successful, you need. It just so happened by accident that Phil and James were there. Sino ba yung mga nauna, yung batch na Phil and James? Simon.
Yeah.
You know, Simon was first, no? Before Chris. Or Sabay. Anyway, I mean, these guys.
I don't know.
It helped. I don't think naman Dan chose these guys, Konyo, because they looked good.
Yeah.
Because I know one thing for sure, Dan's not a fag. So, he's not gay. Dan, are you? Anyway, he's not. So, you know, they don't think that. It just so happened. Then some writers wrote about it na, kesyo, nangyari ganito kasi kung hindi pogi, walang makuha yung mga babae. Ang inang bobo ka, tangang, you know, I forgot who you are, the writer, pero, you know, you don't really think about sports. The one who wrote that, you don't know any fucking thing about sports. It just so happened the how do you say, the chemistry of the good players, at the same time good-looking players.
Right.
It helped.
It's a byproduct. I mean, it wasn't what they were brought in for. They were obviously brought in for the quality of their football.
Of course, because of their game, not because, you know, I don't even care about they came from Chelsea or what have you.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. You know, the mere fact that you are here and you helped Philippine football to where it is now, that's, for me, that's it. That's okay. I don't freaking care where you came from.
And
I mean, you know, where you played. You help the sport here in the country.
And it's highly unlikely that we'd be in the position that we're in now if we lost a whole bunch of the games, you know, with the pogi players, diba? If they were there, if we lost, then it makes no sense, right?
Plus, then here we have the Brazilian Japanese,
Daniel Matsunaga.
Si Dan, then the other guys.
Girls shrieking every time you hear Daniel Matsunaga. Whenever I hear that name, whenever I see him, it's just girls shrieking all the time.
I thought
Hindi ako
every
kasama.
time you hear that name, you're okay.
Hindi ako kasama.
Okay. Pero, you know, it's there eh. And then, I just hope some of the writers don't write saying things na it's a football synonymous with the elite, because that's what they said before. Puro konyo kids lang naglalaro.
Well, you know, you can't blame them for that, because back in the day, it seemed sila lang din naglalaro at the time. Well, at least in Metro Manila, you would have to say. But in like the provinces...
Actually, no.
Really?
No. Dumaguete.
Oh, no. Okay, like I said, if it was here in Metro Manila, maybe you can get that that image because it's all Isabel.
It just so happened like that na the top teams, the top collegiate and even high school teams were the exclusive schools.
Correct.
You would say here, Metro Manila, Lasal, San Agustin, Ateneo.
USTs and...
no, not even UST that time. Xavier, you know.
Right.
Mestizong Singkit, yung mga ganun. But nobody took notice of that sport. Nobody, you know, every interview, that's why nobody asks me that question anymore because kawawa yung isang sport. Because every time they ask me this, it never comes out. They always ask me, Coach, what is ailing Philippine football? I always have the same answer. Basketball.
Is it?
Yes. Yeah, at least in the 80s when they asked me this. Even in the 90s, I said basketball. Everybody's watching basketball. Nobody knows about football. Nobody knows about football. Believe it or not, before, let's say, okay, I got caught for a traffic violation, which was a trumped-up traffic violation. This is the one I told you that I asked the cop to a fist fight. Anyway.
I don't think I remember that. I'd like to hear that story again.
When I opened my trunk, I came from a game for the Palarong Pambansa.
Yeah.
I had 5 players in my car with me. We were going back to Alabang. In Vito Cruz, we came from Rizal. I got stopped for a trumped-up charge. Anyway, I wanted to sit down, so I opened my trunk. I sat down there. He saw all the footballs there. Net, about 20 balls, right? Ano kayo, sir? Volleyball? Kung pwede ko lang mumurahin ko na. You know, but they don't know.
Yeah.
You see, that's why I said earlier, we need to educate. There should be more football programs. You know, not just talk shows or talk about Phil and James and all this, but an educational show.
Sure.
You know, with boards and all that, we get coaches, even players to come in, and then, idea.
This is a pitch happening right now.
No, it's an education. It's football 101.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of the parents who are supporting their kids, you should hear them scream, especially the younger ones. But they don't know what the sport, why. That's why sometimes I get, you know, especially if I'm organizing the tournament, I see there's going to be trouble between the parents for 10-year-olds and 2-year-olds. I sometimes have to tell them off. But sometimes they talk like, especially foreigners. Oh, I love it when these foreigners talk big time with me. Oh, I love it. I just tell them, you're not the only fucking person who knows football.
Right.
Have you ever played or have you coached? I mean, things like that. They don't know it. So I was thinking even way back that if there's a show, Filipino one, like what Phil and James are doing, but Phil and James, it's not an educational really.
It's more just of like drills that you can pick up, yeah.
What I'm saying is an educational thing. Talagang, let them, you know, Pinoy Football 101. Para maintindihan talaga lahat ng Pinoy na, ganito pala yan. Because for sure, if we educate the Filipino about the sport, of course, they'll understand the game more and they'll appreciate the game more.
Yeah.
Instead of just watching because ang gagwapo ng Ascals. Diba?
I think it's an interesting idea that yung show na yan, because I think there's more of a demand for it because you see the kids now, they're playing, right? Yeah. When I hang out in my village, before everybody's playing basketball. Everybody's walking around with a basketball, right? Now you see kids on the park, on the street even, playing football, and it really warms my heart, you know, because it's never happened before. You don't see it. But now, obviously, they play, but their parents probably don't know anything about football, right? So, like, that show would be a little bit more like an education for the parents.
You know,
right?
Funny that you're saying this, because yesterday I had to go to Lasal Taft.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to report there.
Which I hate, by the way. They murdered my field. That's the field that I used to play on.
Man.
Oh, man.
Let's not start even.
Every week I'm on that thing, you know, playing even just by myself, kicking the ball around, and now it's murdered.
I was told
a building.
Years before it even happened Hans, you know, because they know I can make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
And a lot of the alumni were just waiting for me. Hans, just tell us, coach, just tell us. We'll make noise. Anyway, yesterday, street children from Leverisa, okay? I support the Leverisa. Okay. You know, I support Payatas of Roy Moore.
Great guy.
And the Julius Geronimo of Leverisa. These are street children. Of course, payatas. Everybody knows what payatas is. I was walking. It was a break, siguro, so all the students were outside in the back street. Then this small kid just comes, Coach Hans! Then high five with me. Street children.
Yeah.
Then, I grab him and talking, and we talk about football. So the students are wondering, why is Coach Hans talking to this palaboy, kid? Tuwang-tuwa yun yung Coach, lalaro kami dito sa yung Pilipinas Cup, yung mga ganyan. So yun, nakakatuwa. And these kids, if you know Rizal, the entrance to Rizal where we park.
Yeah.
You go further in the Manila Zoo.
Yeah.
In front of Manila Zoo, there's a park there. Mm-hmm. There's 2 goals there.
Really?
No grass, sand, but that's where they play.
Nice.
That's where they play. So with my team's winnings in the Phil Oil Cup last year, of course, with the blessing of the players, I told them, the money's not for us. Let's give to Payatas and give to Leverisa. Yung cones, ladders, so they can use. That's why I asked the kid yesterday, ginagamit ba ni Coach Julius yung markers at ladders nyo?
Yeah.
Oh, Coach, araw-araw. They play every day.
Wow.
Julius, that guy, came out on the show in ABS. What's that?
Maalala mo kaya?
Maalala mo kaya? Is that the show? They talk about the real people? Yun. Came out.
Wow.
It came out. His story. So, football's there. And then, Rudy De Rosario with his Homeless World Cup.
Yeah.
I mean,
great people.
These guys should be made to be acknowledged. I mean, Rudy has been there. He was my player. He was my assistant also before. That guy never freaking knew how to play guitar. Now he's playing guitar and he can sing.
Yeah.
I don't know how he ended up singing, pare. Siguro reggae is so easy to sing. Anyway. But, all these things. I'd like to make mention also that helps also Kia, Colombian Motors, with the president, Jinya. I mean, they were the first big sponsors, until now, I think of the Ascals with Dan.
True, yeah.
And then I handled the Kia Cup Festival. When we started Kia Festival, that was just for open divisions, men and women. On the second year, Rudy had a problem of sending their team to, where did they go last year? Poland?
I'm not sure.
This year was Brazil, right? I think Poland or something, Switzerland or something. And we were able to raise 300,000 plus.
Wow.
All entry fees only. We gave it to Rudy's group, to the Homeless World Cup. And what's nice is some of the homeless players before and now are already playing also in the UFL.
Yeah, that's right. You got like Janrick Soriano, you have Padilla.
And not only that, the most important thing is they're getting educated. They're getting education, schools, scholarships to study, which is great. And this is from football.
Yeah. You think because stuff like this is available now? I mean, obviously there's a lot of projects being done for the less privileged in terms of helping them through football. There's also the youth system that has been put up where people can play not only for their schools, which used to be the only foundation. Now you can play club football as well. Do you think 5 years down the road, what is it going to be like?
I'd want it to be even sooner than 5 years.
All right, 3 years down the road.
Okay,
what do you
because Philippine football has always been decades. Actually, maybe you can say a full century, maybe about. It's school-based.
True.
That's why we never really do well internationally before.
Yeah.
Because number one is the Filipino, even the players, coaches here, don't understand the club system.
Right.
Okay, it's so simple. If you go, you have your own, let's say, municipality. You have a school there. Nobody ever told you you have to play for the school, or nobody ever told you you should not play for the school, but you should play for the club or whatever. You play for the school. Bottom line is the more you play, the better.
Period.
Nothing else.
Done. Yeah.
That's also for the POC and PSC. Okay.
Good shot.
The thing there is, you play for that school here. Okay, let's talk about my Lasal Sobel.
Yeah.
You play for Lasal Sobel. Okay? Muntinlupa will have their own club, let's say community group.
Right.
Players from Sobel, from San Beda, from Southridge, or whatever schools there can opt to go also there. That will happen on the weekends, right? That's a different maybe coaching. style, either way, you're getting educated and you get to play better. Then from the Muntinlupa, you got a league type of thing wherein Muntinlupa plays Makati, Quezon City, things like that. From there, you get selections for Metro Manila, NCR selection. You do the same thing in Mindanao, Visayas, same shit. Have a national tournament. There's your pool.
Right.
Then from then, go on and go on. The problem is here that I foresee, or not actually, I don't foresee, I knew this years back, is we don't have a real youth program for our national sides.
Correct.
That's why a lot, like now from what I heard, the under-19 that are in Indonesia right now, is a lot of the players were not allowed anymore. Because they're failing and all that, which shouldn't be the case.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, one time I was in Malaysia for a course, and Datu Yap, when he was still the Deputy Gen Sec of FAM, Football Association of Malaysia, you know, in that area, which I told Nonong about also, why don't we do it ourselves? You know, the office there, and there are 2 beautiful grass fields. And beside the training field is like a hotel type, where all the players come in. The time I was there, I think they were preparing for their under-19 or under-17s. And when I was still in the office, when I was at FAM, kids were coming in, you know, from the different sectors, provinces, all over Malaysia. Pool for that youth team. The rooms are like hotels. Oh man, beautiful rooms. Hotel, really, I mean, good. Free meals, everything complete. You'll never complain. And there are tutors.
Perfect.
Tutors.
Everything you need.
Everything you need. I don't know how they do it also in Europe. I don't really know. I don't know everything. But the thing there here in the Philippines is a program. Sayang eh. I've handled quite a number of Philippine youth teams.
Yeah.
Maybe not all can end up in the senior side, like in the ASCOs. But the core, which has never happened.
Right.
Up to this day, with what's happening now with the ASCOs, there's no continuity. Sayang lang eh. In the youth level now, I can count with my 2 hands. Maybe not even this much that came from the youth. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's a program. From the under-10s to 12s to 14s, and so on and so forth.
Right.
Until you reach the top, you know, the top level of football. But there's none eh.
There seems to be a lot more people getting involved with the youth setup as well. Like Anto Gonzalez has taken charge of the under-16s.
Yes.
I believe it is. Do you think that's something that's going to change then? soon?
No. That has nothing to do with it.
I mean the program. I mean, do you think
The program should be the one.
because the right people are in it, they would be able to
No.
recommend the right things?
No.
No, you don't think so?
Regardless of who is handling the 16s, the 12s, the 14s, the 18, 20, 23, whatever.
Got to be a directive from PFF.
It has to be the program.
Huh.
You know, even if you get the best coach in the world,
Right.
let's say you get the best coach in the world for the under 14s, and then but you've got no program, no real program, then that's all go to waste.
Yeah.
Because you're in the middle, and when you reach under 23 or reach the seniors, that's going to go to waste. What's going to happen? Sign these kids.
Right.
What would these kids rather do? Target them to play for the UFL na lang.
Yeah.
Make money na lang. You know?
Correct.
Because, and I know for a fact, we've got players like that. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They don't like the coach. Like I told you, I know so many people. So I know so many players, I know so many coaches, I know so many, personalities. And I don't know why I should have another talk show, showbiz, all just chismis. Because I don't ask for it. It just comes my way. Even I don't want to know, they just tell me, Coach, kasi ganito, ganyan. If I see a certain player, dito ka, di ba dapat kasama ka doon? Coach, ayaw ko kayo, ayaw ko kay coach. Ayaw ko kayo, kaya ayaw ka sa manager, mga ganon. Kasi yung mga iba, ginagawang utusan.
Right.
I mean, you're playing for your flag and country, tapos ginagawa kang utusan. Bili ka dito, bili ka niyan. I do that purposely in Lasal.
Right.
To put these rich kids down.
Different purpose.
Purposely. Yeah, that's for, but you're playing for the national team. Kapag matamaan, kapag magalit, guilty ka. Kahit sino ka dyan. The thing there is, there's really no concrete program. This has been going on ever since. You need to do that. It's not like all the 12s will be the players when they get to 14s.
Yeah.
And then so on. No, of course not. There's some who's going to drop one way for one reason or another. Some will continue.
Yeah.
You know?
Some will just lose passion for the game. It could
Exactly.
be so many different
That's
things.
right.
Yeah.
And then you have different level of coaches. And it has to stick that way. If Anto's staying with the 16s or 17s or whatever, then he sticks with that.
Yeah.
Let's not give, let's say, it's a reward, let's put him up. It's not a fucking reward. If he was doing well, if Anto's doing well for the 16s or 15s, keep him there.
Right.
He doesn't need the reward. The reward you can give him a bigger salary. That's the reward. But don't move him to the 16s or the 18s. They put somebody. For me, the most important, Jing, are the ones in the grassroots. The coaches, the trainers in the grassroots,
Right.
and the young ones. These are the most important coaches to me. Not the UFL.
Develop that attitude, the love for the game.
The professional leagues, you don't need to be that good coach. You need to be a very good motivator, manager type that you can get them together. Because you don't have to do much. Why? Because your players are being paid millions of euros, dollars, and all this shit, and they know how to play.
Yeah.
You just say, okay, Jing, you just do this, huh?
Yeah.
You just play here, you just do that.
Managing personalities.
That's it, exactly.
Yeah.
But where do these players come from? Messi, Ronaldo, Ronaldinho, Pelé, Cruyff, where do they start? They all start in the youth. There's no successful world-class player that just, boom, nasa seniors na.
Right.
If anybody believes that, bobo ka. Everybody started in the youth level. So, the most important coaches, in any sport for that matter, are the grassroots coaches and then the youth.
Right.
Those are the most successful. Like I said, it's so satisfying. You feel so good when you see the fruits of your labor.
Scary, by the way, some of the fruits of his labor. I was recently at De La Salle Zubel playing with some of the kids for a football clinic, supposedly teaching kids how to pass and dribble the ball, but really we were being taught by these 12, 15-year-old girls who can shoot absolute rockets with right foot, left foot, and Coach Han's just snickering on the sideline, look at her, she could beat you. And it's true, and some of these kids, it's a pleasure to be able to see that, kasi parang, they get the proper guidance at a very young age, and you see them develop and flourish, it's incredible.
You know what I would also want to voice out to the other youth coaches, especially youth coaches. Okay, never mind the seniors, but the youth coaches. Also educate the parents of your players. Educate them about everything else about the game, if you know it yourself. If you don't know it, then get somebody, maybe another parent who's balanced, who is sane, who's not after glory of his family name or whatever, or her name for that matter. Teach them. I mean, I've seen through the years that they're good kids, good in playing.
Yeah.
Potential was there, boys and girls, that lost interest.
Because of the parents.
Because of the parents.
Father trying to live through the son, or
things like that. Even the mom.
Yeah.
Even mothers, would you believe? Even moms. I don't know what year this was in Sobel. Somebody gave me a preamble for parent supporters. Because that time when I had so much shit coming from the PA. So when I got that, I printed out quite a number of copies.
PA is the Parents Association?
Yes.
Okay.
I printed out and made it bigger. And I posted on their board before you enter. I posted myself, I just pinned it there. I put 3 of it so they'll know, so they can see it. Okay? I have no jurisdiction over that, but I just did anyway. Yeah. I entered, I did the same thing. Then I told the other parents who are okay parents, the parents who understand what they are as parents with their athletic kids, I said, Stoy, pabasa mo dito kay ano, pabasa mo ito kay ano. Pabasahin mo. I think it came from Google also, it's there. Exactly. About the helicopter.
What's that?
It's that, what you said earlier, a parent living their frustrations through their children.
Right. Like if you didn't play well, you only made it until high school team, you didn't make it to college, you didn't go pro or whatever.
Then they push the kids too much.
Yeah.
And if, like I said, I've got problems with some of the parents before, but I'll just shut them up. Like I said earlier, some coaches talk to the parents, educate them. Because I think, I don't know, I want to believe that I'm the only coach here that makes sermon to the parents also. Oh yeah, I'm doing my job.
Yeah.
You don't like it, then take your fucking kid out.
I wish I had something to compare it with, but my coach barely showed up to practice and had a scrimmage all day. We didn't learn anything. So.
You know what I mean? If one time only, I think I had a talk in front of other new coaches or something, I just tell them, number one, or even if I talk to kids for career orientation, believe it or not, I'm a speaker for career orientation. I don't know why. I mean, football, I said, some of you guys really want to go to football as a career? Anyway, and this is years before what's happening now.
Yeah.
I always tell them first, number one is, if you treat your work as a job or your job as work, you'll never last. If you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
32 years, I still look forward to waking up in the morning and going to my team and train. Even if some of them piss me off like crazy. I still want to go and be there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Then in the afternoons, I do it again for the younger generation, for the Sobel. And then in the evening, there's still the archers. Okay? You know, I look forward to it. 32 years. That's why if I'm looking forward to it in such a way, like I said, oh fuck, I need to work. You know, so I don't get paid if I don't work.
Yeah.
I gotta show up.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's one. That's why I'm up to now, for how many years in Sobel, I'm still violently opposing that, you know, we have a time in, time out. Only Lasal Sobel. Sorry, bro, pero...
Why are you against that?
It's like you don't fucking trust the coaches.
To come in?
I've been there. I started a program. You know why? Teachers, okay, fine, you time in. Because you're in the classroom.
Yeah.
You're by hour, okay? And we're not getting paid by the hour. Tips yan for all the other coaches for whatever university, college, school, whatever. I'm telling you this. If we are being paid by the hour, then fine. I agree with the time in, time out. Okay? But we're not. If a coach slacks off, like what you said with JN and CSA, the school administration would know. Why? Because the kids will complain.
Yeah.
Who they complain to? The parents. The other parents, you just need one parent to complain to the school. And he's out. Or she's out.
Damn it, why that coach was still there? He was still there. I think he's still there.
Because nobody, he's still there. But nobody goes kasi and says.
Yeah.
Okay? That's the fact. And, well, in Sobel, nobody really bothers me anymore from the HR because one time they asked me, local phone calling, Coach, why didn't you time out? So, I'm my usual self. I screamed the phone with my beautiful language. I said, what?
Poor HR people.
Ang importante dito, nagtrabaho ako, hindi importante kung anong oras ako nag-time out. Pwede ba? Ayoko na nga itong tungkol dito sa mga time in, time out nito. Putang na, waste of time to. Tapos tatawagan mo pa ako. So now, they don't anymore call me.
How stressed out was that HR person, you know? Dude, ikaw na tumawag kay Coach Hans. Di, ikaw na.
You know what the other coaches do, pare? What the other coaches do, not only football, not only my coaches, my football, but the other coaches, pag may problema dyan, sasabihin, Ma'am, tawagan ko lang si Coach Hans. Si Coach Hans lang mag-explain sa iyo. Wag na. Sige.
So, no thanks. No,
that's crazy. And I say, it's one Lasal. You know Lasal, it's one Lasal, right?
Yeah.
I said, we're the only freaking Lasal in the whole Philippines that the coaches have to time in and time out. Green Hills doesn't have to do that. I work for Taft also, the university. I don't do that.
Yeah.
You know? And I said, I'm a Lasal graduate also. So my commitment, loyalty, don't question me.
Yeah.
You know? I said, if I'm absent, I'm absent. I said, why don't you pay us by the hour? O, patay ka. Then I said, time in, time out, you're teaching some people to cheat. Like I know some people in Sobel. They would,
Get somebody else to time in for
No, you cannot. Now it's finger.
Oh,
but before, swipe. And punch in, punch out, the whole type. So some people will just come to Lasal Sobel early, punch in. Then they leave and they go to their other job. When they finish the other job, they come back to Sobel and punch out.
Right.
They get paid, double jeopardy. Oh, without these things, you don't. There's no cheating there.
Yeah.
You're absent, and it'll be known. If I was the director, I would tell, okay, every start of the year, captain balls, meeting with the captain balls. Co-captains. Report nyo sa akin. Pag ilang beses sa isang linggo absent yung coach nyo. Yung ganun, I can always do that.
How often are you absent?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm only absent when I have a meeting or if I'm out of town or on official business.
And always on time?
Oh yeah, earlier.
Yeah.
Earlier. In the afternoons, earlier. In the morning, sometimes I'm also late because I'm getting old, man. Ano ka? But before, believe it or not, tangina, I'm in Lasal Taft there. Dilim pa, the only one there.
Which is crazy, by the way. Training at that time, what was that about? Is it still the same?
Yeah.
Wow.
Actually, earlier now because I don't have Rizal now because they're doing the Rizal, no? So it's 5:39 alawang.
Yeah.
No, because when I came into Lasal Taft in 89, I think somewhere there, they were training in an ungodly hour. 12 noon? Are you crazy?
Oh, wow. That's worse.
So the first time that I was introduced by Romy Soto, he was the director at that time in Ultra, to the team. I remember the team was Arthur Tabuena, Nitch Severino, and all these guys. Mostly San Agustin and Green Hills boys. So he introduced me. They had 2 games or 1 game remaining in the UAP. That was a Sunday. So I was asked to go to Ultra, so they introduced me. I said, okay, fine. Okay, tomorrow, please be in the field before 6 a.m. Lahat sila. Then may nagtawag sa akin, Hans. I said, you don't fucking call me Hans. You call me Coach Hans. Pero kilala ko na before. You call me Coach Hans. Anyway, well, bahala kayo sa buhay nyo. Basta tomorrow, I'm starting a tryout. You're the team now.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, different. Believe it or not, they were all there before 6. Jesus. And then, from that time on until now, still the same. Because the scheduling, the scheduling tough, man.
Yeah.
You cannot do it in an ungodly hour. That's why it's so easy naman eh. You start, besides, you wake up early. That's how I see how committed you are.
Yeah.
To wake up this early. Oh, I know you gotta study.
Yeah.
We were students before, so we know what we're up against and we know what they're up against. So, discipline. Are you committed to play? If you're not, and what's nice now is the players are honest with me. I mean, actually, I got a few texts 2 days ago from 2 girls saying that they don't have what it takes to wake up early morning, this one, like that. I said, fine, I respect that, But that's where you see it, eh? But you don't fucking practice at 12 noon, man.
Yeah, yeah.
Who does practice at 12 noon? You're crazy.
I remember though, like I had a lot of classmates who were part of your team, and I was like, I had a lot of respect for them, You see them fighting hard, trying not to fall asleep in class.
Yes.
And sometimes some of them would even have an appetite to play in the afternoon as well. So parang grabe, like I couldn't imagine, I can't even recall the number of times that I've woken up before 6 o'clock and you had to be there before 6 o'clock. It's crazy. But, like you said, commitment, right?
It's commitment. I mean, every time there's something wrong with the team, like I say, training or in a game, for example, we lost badly and all that, I just ask one question. Why are you here? Why are you here? I don't think you're here because you like to wear the uniform or you want to have a jacket, you want to get the how do you call this? The issues, shoes and all that. They all say, Coach, because we love to play. Then that's the only motivation you need. But you are an organized group now. You cannot just play when you want to play.
Yeah.
Discipline comes in. So you need to have the right attitude. Without the right attitude, you don't have discipline. It comes first. That's why I always say, what's the first letter in the alphabet? A. A is the first letter in your head if you're an athlete. This is what I always say since when I started coaching.
A is the first letter in your head?
In the alphabet, and that should be in the head when you're an athlete.
What does that mean?
Attitude.
Attitude.
A for attitude.
Right.
Like I for elephant. Anyway.
Wink, wink. All right. By the way, we do have to say that we are going to be able to make that 101 show that you pitched just a while ago. In fact, we might be doing it here, so that should be a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
You yourself, Coach Hans, can now educate some of the people about.
Not just me. There are a lot of other people that we can always tap.
Yeah.
That I might miss out on a few things. So some others. Let's give everybody a chance. So the football community here in the Philippines know also who are the football people here around that can help out in any aspect of the game.
Are we almost out of time? 2 minutes. All right, I gotta ask you real quick before we do wrap this up. We were talking about, like the youth program might have some kinks in it in terms of the international setup.
Yeah.
Right? But we are coming up with youth clubs now. You said it's a huge deal. Something that perhaps isn't part of basketball culture. Like there's no clubs, anything like that. And now we're competing regionally as well. Like I said, Singapore, Indonesia. Do you think it is a possibility that we could, outgrow? Coming from the shadow of basketball, and obviously I believe that there's space for two sports or even more than that in the Philippines, but do you think we have the potential to be bigger?
Oh yeah,
basketball?
Definitely. Was it last year that I heard that the PBA, of course they will not admit, but I heard they were afraid already.
Really?
Of the UFL, yes.
Nice. No,
because there were some games, no. There were some games that was together with the PBA and then with our UFL. There was more watching the football.
Ooh,
so it's, like now the other network, finally a good thing they didn't go against together with the time slot of our UFL matches.
Yeah.
In the UAP, there will be an hour delay games on Fridays, I think.
Football?
Show yes.
Well done.
UAP. Hopefully somebody goes and taps and goes to the NCAA and do the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. The more it's shown in different networks, I would love it if every network has a football show.
Yeah.
They show football matches. Who's the winner here? The networks will win, and most of all, the sport will win.
Yeah.
More viewership. That's what we need. That's what we need. I mean, the education of the sport can come after, right? Like I said already. So yung mga babae dyan na type sila Phil, sila James, huwag kayong umasa. May mga girlfriend na yung mga yan. Ano nyo na lang kung paano sila naglalaro ng football. Tapos matuto ka na lang, maglaro na kayo, may mahahanap rin kayo mas gwapo pa dyan. Mas malaki pa ang puso.
Perfect way to end this program. I think first pilot episode of Hands On, and I think barely scratching the surface. It's always such a lot of fun to be sitting down next to Coach Hans. So more episodes to come. Coach Hans?
Oh, definitely.
Oh man, we're looking forward to it. Obviously, we have some guests that we want to have on the show as well. Coach Dan Palami, Coach Hans Michael Weiss, and Monshu of the UFL and Green Archers. So plenty more in store for Hands On. We're glad that you guys are watching the program as the moment, and hopefully we'll see you guys very soon.
Hey, call in. You guys can call in or what have you. The guys will take care of it.
Yeah.
You can ask any question, but please make it football related.
Yeah.
Okay? Hindi ako si Mo, lalo si Jing. Wala akong skandal.
Yeah.
Okay?
Your dick problems go to Mo. That's not us. That's not us. No.
We will tell you when you can, when it's the live shows and all this, more information. And you know what, guys? For all the, especially Ateneans and Lasalites, we're looking for sponsors, man. Come in.
So we will be on Twitter. You guys can check us out there. Twitter.com/handson. I believe it's still available.
Hands on.
Hands on NMF.
Not hands. Me.
HANSON. Just to make that clear, NMF. All right. So check that out on Twitter. It should be live by the time this comes out. And follow me on Twitter. It's Jing Jamlang on Twitter, and there is going to be a @Coach Hans Smit. That should be available as well. That's pressure for you to get on Twitter. All right. So we see you guys soon. Hopefully very, very soon. See you guys. Thank you.
See you soon.